Good morning. Good morning. I know it takes you a minute or so to drop on, but I don't like to sit here saying nothing. So how are you this morning? What's the weather like where you are? Are you in rain or is it nice? It's not raining here today. We've had floods in other parts of Scotland, but not here. Where are you watching from? And tell me if you're watching live, let me know. If you're watching on replay, let me know, just so I can get a handle on how many people are actually watching live. I can see people dropping on now. So welcome, all of you. As you drop in, it's lovely to have you here. For those of you who don't know me, and why wouldn't you when the branding is everywhere, I'm Mandy Nicholson, and I am the Creative Genius Consultant. I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm a creative retreat owner, and I show creative women how they can make more money, create income streams, and manage their money. And I wanted to talk to you today about cash flow management, money management. This is one of those left brain subjects that's really dull for us creatives. Yeah, it does not inspire us. It is not at all interesting, yet it's vital to your small, medium business, wherever you are, to have a process of cash flow management, because having no cash flow or cash flow coming to an end is like a heart attack in business. It really is. If you've got bills to pay and you've got no money there and no money coming in, it is literally, that's a business that's in default. That's where you are when that happens. So what I find with a lot of the creative women that come my way is they've not really thought about this in any way that's structured, because it's that icky thing of money, isn't it? I talk a lot about money mindset, and managing your cash flow is a part of your money mindset. So what is cash flow? Obviously, yes, it's cash coming into your business, but it's also stock, it's debtors, it's creditors, it's production, it's inventory, it's lots of different things. Whether your cash is money or whether it's stock or whether it's money owed or money that you owe, that all accumulates as cash flow. And the first thing I would say to you in your business is you really need to have a cash flow forecast. So forecasting, really seriously sitting down and thinking about how much money you are going to generate in your business and where that money is going. So having a cash flow forecast and a budget is vital. So you're very lucky that on the 19th of October, I have my vision board and planning workshop, goal setting workshop, and in there I take it down to the pounds. So I don't just do a vision board that's wishy-washy. We go down into the nitty-gritty. So if you're not already signed up for that, do sign up for that, because that will help you a lot to think a bit differently maybe about your business in 2024. So what are some of the issues that impact cash flow? So first of all, pricing and profit. So this is one of the struggles I see a lot in creative women, in general, in women in business that I work with, that they struggle to price their goods and think about profit margins because of the nature of the product. So that's the first problem that impacts cash flow. The second is too much production. Okay, so I'm going to call you out here. I want you to stick your hand up. If you are that person that keeps buying stock in, making stock, buying things to make stock, and then you've got lots and lots of, you're producing lots and not selling it at a rate that is in line with the production. Because if you produce too much, make too much, and I know where that comes from in creatives, it comes from shiny object syndrome. Yeah, you're producing something and then you're on to the next thing and you're producing more and more, or you're buying shiny things, new things to make new things, to create new things. So overproduction then results in the next thing that is an issue, morning Jill, in businesses in general, and that's excess inventories. You do not want to be carrying too much stock. I do have times when I'm guilty of buying new things. Yes, every creative is. And that impacts on your cash flow. Excess inventory is money tied up. So when I was in retail corporate land, we had a target for our stock levels, our inventory levels, because if we carried too much, that was the company's money tied up in stock that was not turning over fast enough, therefore impacting cash flow. So that's something. Hand up. We've got a hand up. Then the seasonal demand. So we can go into all of those things: overproduction, excess inventory for seasonal demand. And let me tell you this: one thing I was bloody good at when I was in retail was doing my Christmas orders based on historic, factual data. So if last Christmas you sold 20 and you're doing the same thing this year, then you need 20. And if you sell out, that's great. It's Christmas. You don't want to carry anything over. However, if you've got a big marketing campaign and you know you can sell 50% more because of your marketing campaign, then that's fine. It's about forecasting based on the activity that you have planned. Again, I'll be covering this in my workshop that's coming up on the 19th. So good cash flow management is fundamental for business survival, and you need good visibility of your cash flow. So I'm going to share with you how I manage my cash flow today and ongoing. And believe me, I have cash flow issues. I've experienced them myself in the last few months because of investing a lot of my money in the bistro next door that is no longer happening due to circumstances beyond my control. And I've lost around about £20,000 in that. So it's affected my cash flow. And I'm in the process of making my cash flow more healthy again. Despite the fact that I have assets of a value that I'll be sharing with you this week in one of the posts in the group. Got something that I've never shared anywhere in my group. So if you're not in Creative Genius Corner on Facebook, you won't be privy to this information. It's going out in Creative Genius Corner, where I'm going to share honestly what it's like for entrepreneurs. So here's how I manage my cash flow. When every pound that comes in, every single pound that comes in, 40% of it stays in the business. So 40%, 40 pence in every pound stays in the business account. 20% of it, so 20 pence in every pound, goes into savings account. So I have 3 accounts. Another 20% goes into my tax account. So that's 80%. So I pay myself 20%. That means that the business has always got money in it. There is the tax money ready for when the end of the year when I do my accounts. And there's 20% of the income in rainy day money. Now that's what I tapped into. I tapped into more than I should for the bistro next door, which is why it impacted my cash flow. Because obviously I thought that was going ahead. It was a new business investment that was going to make more money, and it didn't pan out. So things like that can have a massive effect on your cash flow for maybe 6 to 12 months after. So if you put 20 grand into something, would that have had an effect on your cash flow? Absolutely, 100%. Doesn't matter how much you're earning. Yeah, it takes out some of the protective money that you have, and it impacted a lot of things. So how can you manage to do that? First of all, I'm going to say to you, you've got to keep your costs under control. What is the lowest cost way of doing things? And can you use the data that's available to you to assess what is worth having? So for instance, I'm going to give you an example. I got rid of my quiz this year, just last month, actually, August. I took the quiz off the website because it was costing me £600+ per year to pay for the platform to run the quiz, and we were not making enough money off the workbooks that we were selling to pay for that, to pay for that annual fee. So it just went. And that's what you've got to do in terms of managing overall your cash flow over the year. Now, there are some great people, even in this group. Tracy Robertson, if you don't know her, go and find her. She's in my group, Creative Genius Corner, and she is an accountant, bookkeeper. She knows about money. And if you've not got an accountant, I have an accountant. Maybe you need that. If you don't have to have an accountant, you can have a bookkeeper, somebody that maybe costs you £25 a month. Believe me, that's the best investment you can make. They will save you all the money that you invest in paying them. But your responsibility is to manage that cash flow and be really strict with it. Get to the point where you can be really strict. Remember, 40% in your business, 20% into savings, 20% in tax, and 20% to you. That's the best ratio for you to be able to survive and manage cash flow. So your activities for today is go and look at your inventory. Are you carrying too much inventory? Question mark. If you've got a product-based business. If you've got a service-based business where you're selling services through courses or coaching, have you got courses that are not selling and not working for you? Delete them and find out what your customers want and create something that they want that will create more cash flow. If it's sitting there not making you money, then just take the distraction away. If you're selling things like coaching, are you charging enough money? First thing, are you charging enough money per hour for your coaching services? Do you have packages? And how are you marketing that? So we can all, doesn't matter what you're doing, we can all look at what we're doing. Have you got too much inventory? Have you got things that are not working for you? Is your pricing correct in order to generate enough profit margin for your business? So whether you're charging per hour, whether you're charging for a course, whether you're charging for a product, whether you're charging for a book, what's the profit margin on those things? And is it enough for you to manage the cash flow in your business? And if it's not, put your prices up and look at your profit margins. If your inventory is too large, if you've got too much stock, consider putting a sale in place and clearing out some of that stock. That will generate cash flow, reduce your inventory, and make things move. I did have a really weird metaphor come into my brain there that I'm not going to share with you because it was not a nice one. But yeah, I'll go on. I will share it with you. So having too much inventory is like being constipated. Yeah. So when you have a sale, that's like taking medication for your constipation, and it's a relief when you get rid of the excess. There you go. Sorry. That's what you get when you watch me. You get none of this nice posh stuff. Sorry. So that's kind of your actions for today. Forget about the constipation. But that's exactly what it's like with excess inventory. Think about things that are coming up like Black Friday, Christmas, January sale. Is there an opportunity for you to increase your cash flow, remove some of that inventory, look at your production? Are you overproducing? Are you spending too much time not doing the things that make you money rather than doing the things that make you money? Are you creating new courses instead of selling the ones you've got? Are you procrastinating with your marketing and your pricing if you are working with people one-to-one? What is going on that you can make changes with? I've got a laughing sign there. Yeah, I just come up with the weirdest metaphors, don't I? So the main thing for you is to keep your costs under control, to have good visibility of your cash and where it's at. Yeah, to be making these sensible choices when the money comes in and positioning the money in those places that I suggested, and managing your stock levels and your production. So that's why I wanted to talk about this not very sexy subject this week. Yeah, because it is not something I think that a lot of the creative ladies that I work with, who are amazing, who are talented and intelligent and fabulous at what they do, but hate the money stuff. They really hate the money stuff and avoid it. And then it becomes a problem and they're not making enough money, or they don't make that money work for them. So, I mentioned 20% into savings and 20% into a tax account. Both of my savings and tax accounts are interest accounts. So I'm earning interest on them whilst that money sits in there and builds up for the year to pay my tax at the end of the year. So it's earning money for me. The savings are earning, well, they were until I spent them all on the bistro. But when I'm replenishing them at the minute, they are earning money for me. So be honest with yourself and stop avoiding some of these issues. If you are, not saying that you are, if you are, and it's good to be honest, we did have one hand up there. It's good to be honest, then get it on the agenda, because you are a CEO, you are an entrepreneur, you are in business, and this is business. I'm in the process of a purge, Jill's saying. I'm in the process. What did you take for it? That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, hopefully this has given you a little prod, to think slightly differently about the cash in your business. And honestly, if you need help, reach out to somebody who's really good at this. If you're not good at it, or you don't like it, pay somebody else to do it. It's worth every penny. I pay an accountant to sort out all of my accounts because I hate it, but I'm in control of it. Don't like it, but I'm in control of it. Anyway, think about that. Tell me if that's helped, and tell me if that's made you go and think about something and do it differently. I'd love to hear your stories. And on that note, have a great week. I will see you next week with more top tips and help that can help you in your business right now. And don't forget to sign up for the Vision Board Productivity and Goal Setting Workshop on the 19th of October. The link is in the newsfeed in this group somewhere, and it's on my personal page, and it's pretty much everywhere else. I will see you next week. Have an awesome